Hey guys, so here's the Ninja Star shape here, and I wanted to show you kind of how it's built so you can get an idea of how you can make your own. All of this is based on a sketch, and whether it's this one or this shape, they're both basically the same. I'll show you that. So I'll go into sketches here, I'll turn the sketches on. And there's two sketches we have. I have one that's the main shape, and I've got one that's the actual holes, as you can see for the magnet. As you can tell, the circles here are all measured out. There's a certain distance away from the edge here. This hole over here is just a mirror image of this. So once I have this one defined, I go up to the top and I use mirror, and I use like this is the half line to mirror this on the other end of it. So I don't have to draw it one time, and then I can simply mirror to the other side. That's the holes for the magnet basically. And my magnets were about 6 millimeters, so I added about 0.25 millimeters as a tolerance just to make them fit. You always need to add a little bit of space so that there's a little bit of wiggle room and things. Go ahead and show you the main shape here. So this is the main shape, and basically what we have here, if you look at it, broken down, it's a square, and these dotted lines means they're construction lines, so they're not actually part of the drawing. They just kind of help support the drawing, either by using constraints or being tied to certain things. Everything has a measurement, so this is a fully defined sketch, and everything has a measurement to it. Looking at this again, I could probably draw it a number of different ways to make it a little simpler, honestly. But this works, kind of my first attempt at it. So you can see here, these lines here, what I've done is I got one line going in the middle, and I simply offset it 2 more times on either side. And what I did with those, I used those to draw a line. You can see it here. So that line goes from this edge to this edge, and that creates a taper. You can see in the shape here. That's how I'm creating that taper. Otherwise, you'd have the line going all the way down to the end, and there'd be no gap here. If I want to have a gap, I've got to add some kind of taper. And what's neat about doing this is I could adjust these lines out and change the taper on this if I wanted to. So everything's being done by a drawing and a legend. There's nothing here that's not defined or not measured out, basically. Now, the other star, I'll show you. That one's very similar as well. Same basic drawing. In fact, I didn't even change the lines or anything, even though I'm not using in this one. So in this one here, same idea. The difference is we added circles. So I added a circle here, a circle here, a circle here. And then basically you're extruding out. That's where these lines would be good to get rid of in this drawing because I don't need them. But you can see that's the basic shape there. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to delete the bodies. I'm going to show you how I made them just so you can kind of see how it works step by step here. So okay, so I'm back left with just the sketch at this point. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and select these pieces that I want to extrude out. Like I said, this drawing has some extra lines in it that I probably wouldn't have for this version if I was just going to do this. Since I did 2 versions though, it was just simpler to use the same sketch on everything basically. Okay, so I have this shape now. And I'm going to go ahead and extrude out. I'm going to do 8 millimeters. And I'm left with this shape here, which looks very similar to what we wanted to do with, but we're not quite there yet. So the next step is to add on a chamfer, which is right here. So if I go into here, and you want to choose all the edges. There's a number of different ways to do this, but I want to chamfer on both ends. So I'm going to go ahead and choose all my angles here, including the curved angles, as you can see. So I'm grabbing all the angles. Not these angles there. I don't want to get the corners. If you grab too many angles, you might end up with problems on in your geometry. So you gotta make sure that the everything works okay. So it looks like I've got all the different sides here. And I'm gonna go ahead and add a 4 millimeter chamfer. And you can see that basically makes both sides in like that. Now, what I did forget on this one here, I didn't do the inside. So let me go back in and redo that here. Do a 4mm on that too, and there you go. Okay, so once we have the shape here, the only thing left to do on this one is to actually split it. Now you can see on my version here, I've already got the holes there, and that's because I have these construction lines. So what I did is I used an offset plane, and that is what I used to cut this model basically. So you can see the offset planes right here. Now, right now in this model, since I redrew it, it's not cut anymore, as you can tell. But my offset plane is still in this drawing. So I'll show you how I split the model. And like it's an offset plane, basically you go up to here, you add an offset plane, and then from any of these axes, you can expand out and put it wherever you'd like, basically, okay? So how to split this body. So if you go to modify, you're gonna do split body. We're gonna choose our main body here. And then for the splitting tool, I'm gonna choose the offset. And see, that creates a cutting tool there. And again, hit okay. And that's gonna split my body. So now I've got two bodies up here. And if I take one out, you can see that there is the spot where the magnets go. Now, once I have this spot here, these two pieces, I'm gonna go ahead and hide the construction deal here. I can extrude, and I'm gonna be cutting in 2mm, and that makes my holes. So that's the construction ninja star. And you could draw any kind of shape you wanted to. So you could change this sketch and make more points on the star. All kinds of possibilities here. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Definitely interested in getting more feedback. I want to do more tutorials like this. I'm learning as you guys learn. So any feedback is heavily appreciated. Thank you so much, guys. Thanks for watching.